You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
you are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. But I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TE Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Did I say Streaker? My mind is maybe still at the Long Beach Jazz Festival yesterday, which was so much fun. But I am so glad that you're here. This is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to claim your birthright to a happy 88 life. You're happy 88% of the time. A lot of people are not happy 88% of the time, especially on Mondays. Monday. But I'm here as your personal advocate, as your personal assistant, and your cheerleader to be happy 88% of the time. Why not 100% of the time? Well, if you're happy all the time, you're kind of like George Costanza's dad on Seinfeld, that one episode where he kept going, serenity now. There is no such thing as 100% happy, or you're dead. You will be happy when you're dead, when you go to the other side. The people you leave behind may not be happy, but once you go back into that energy goop where there's peace and love and joy and a lot of music and warmth, you will be happy 100% of the time. But right now, you are on Earth living this life that we can be happy most of the time. That's what today's show's about. What are your excuses for not being happy? But before we get into that, you know the drill. First thing, we do our breakfast. Having breakfast with you right now. It's from my daughter, Sarah went to UC Davis. That's why I have a lot of cows in my house. I would like you to think about 8 specific things that you are grateful for. That's how we start every day. And then 8 specific things that you like about yourself. And that's called Breakfast with Dr. Marissa. And today I am asking, we'll see if he can actually put his voice in. If not, he's going to be typing me his gratitudes, my new sound engineer, Frank, who's doing a fabulous job supporting me on this show about hope and happiness. So let's see. What am I grateful for? And thanks for rolling in. I see eyeballs, and without making you shy, please do put your gratitudes in the comment and you can have breakfast with me. All right. I am grateful that I got to ride my bike over to the Long Beach Jazz Festival and save, I don't know how much they were charging for parking. So that's the first one. 2, I am grateful that I got to witness the incredible artistry of Marcus Miller. I am grateful that I got to do Backstreet Boys backstage interviews with Marcus as well as Najee. And Najee, if you were looking at my social, Doc Balance on Instagram and Dr. Marissa everywhere else, you will see that when I performed at Spaghettini's many, many years ago, and the owner, Carrie, who's a friend of mine, said, why don't you go up before Najee starts? And so I played an original song and I sang, and Najee came on and said that I had a voice of an angel, which is beautiful. I don't know what angels sound like exactly, but I was grateful for that. So that's 4. And let's see. Have I got anything from Frank? You said you were going to type them if you couldn't say them. I don't know. Did you figure out the audio? Oh, here we go. I'm on a gratitude for. He is grateful for his job to get to do what he loves. Wonderful. That's 2. That's 6. I am grateful that I, continue to celebrate my birthday, and I got this beautiful, I don't know if this is a short jacket from Monique's. I'll do a social post on her, and got some great birthday shopping clothes at the Long Beach Jazz Festival. That's 7. And 8, I am, do you have another one? We'll see. 8, I am grateful that hashtag COVID silver lining, I get to broadcast from my living room here in Long Beach. So that is the top of the bun, gratitudes. The bottom of the bun is actually called the appreciation. It's what you do before you go to bed. A lot of us have sleep issues, and that's an epidemic that has gone up since COVID, and even PTSD, post-pandemic sleep disorder is what I'm calling it, PTSD, because you're thinking about how am I going to make the money back, or how am I going to get things done that I didn't get done, or how could they say that about me? All the things that take your mind off of sleep or don't allow you to sleep. So this practice, this discipline of before you go to bed, you think about 8 specific things that you like about yourself. So what do you like about yourself? That way, too, you strengthen the muscle of self-care, which I believe is the foundation to good mental health. That's my BS, my belief system. So what do I like about myself? I like that I can dance. And what was super cute was I got, you know how I'm dancing queen on social, hashtag dancing queen. And I did my little, I think I danced like 3 times on camera. They actually show a clip for Long Beach Jazz Festival from years ago when I was up front dancing with I think I had a white hat on, because lots of great hats there. And the commercial plays and people go, oh, I saw you on TV. And I did at least 3. So I had quite a few. And then when you get a compliment from a woman, and a colorful woman, which is another way of me saying black or brown, the heritage, there were some African-American women who paid me like the best compliments by acknowledging my dance moves. So I appreciate my ability to be a dancing queen. I appreciate my ability to just get up and dance and not be afraid to do that. I appreciate my ability to teach people how to use their iPhone. I was helping a friend yesterday do all these things and screenshot and cropping, and realizing that I'm almost as good as a Gen millennial or Gen X, Gen Y, who I have usually handed off my phone and say, can you do this for me? And I'm learning how to do it. I appreciate my ability to learn quickly. And finally, my 8th appreciation, unless Frank, you have an appreciation about yourself that you'd like to put up there. I appreciate that I have a good decoration eye. I love doing, set design. That's my production design eye, my fashionista, but being able to look at things and working with colors. So those are the things that I like about myself. And yes, it does sound like I'm tooting my own horn. And yes, it does sound like I'm going against the Chinese saying, the nail that stands up is hammered down. But it is, I believe, the most important thing. If you want to feel good about life, you have to start with the foundation of feeling good about yourself. And that's good mental health. Because, as I'm known for saying, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of you if you can't approve of yourself? Got it? So The guarantee, the Happy 88 guarantee. Oh, good. Frank's last appreciation. I appreciate that I am creative. Creativity is awesome for my emotional health. Absolutely. And Frank, I don't know if you've heard me say this yet. He's only been with me, a couple weeks? I used to be called, growing up, overly sensitive. And I don't know how many of y'all relate to that. You're so sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. And I used to hate that. That would make me even more emotional. And sometimes I'd have a knee-jerk reaction, emphasis on jerk. Both the sender and the receiver. Frank is agreeing, same. You've been called overly sensitive. Well, I have some great news for you. Research has shown that sensitivity is 100+% correlated with creativity. So when people say, you're so sensitive, I say, thank you. Xie xie. That's Mandarin for thank you. So I don't know if you knew that, Frank, but you can own your sensitivity with pride. And that's it for breakfast. I promise if you do this exercise, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, top of the bun, gratitude's bottom of the bun, appreciation for the next 28 days, you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. And it's free. So you don't even need to go see anyone. You heard it here. Try it and let me know how it works. And that's it for breakfast. Thanks for joining me. All right. Topic at hand. First of all, thank you, Frank. He says that's awesome. I would like you, Frank, as well. You're gonna be my shell this morning. I see eyeballs rolling in. Thank you for joining me. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show 997. That is right. This week is going to be the big 1,000, and it is going to be this Thursday. I thought it was going to be Wednesday, but it's actually on my special series, Straight Talk with Dr. Marissa, and Sam works, and so we'll see if we can get him to get here on time. He was late for my birthday show last week, but it'll be wonderful. I will be showing some of my favorite clips from my favorite interviews, although they were all 997 so far, my favorites, because it truly is an honor and a privilege to talk at you every morning now. Since COVID, I got promoted into this every weekday morning slot. And before that, it was once a week. But I've been on NBC News Radio, Channel KCAA for about, I would say, 9 years, maybe 9.5, almost 10. And then total broadcasting over 11 years. May 1st, 2012 was my very first podcast show. So, yes, I was here before everybody became a podcaster because I like to be first. It's that Leo in 5 planets business. All right. So what are your excuses for not being happy? And I have a list. This question actually came from a listener supporter. She was going to try to be on today, but she got called into work. And because my show is now at 9 instead of 8, she couldn't do it. But she gave me a list of all the reasons why she is not happy. So are you ready? And I wanted to actually take a look at what, you know how my best friend is Google. And actually in our home, we say Christina it or Aaron it, because my niece and nephew who live in Australia, who I get to go see at Christmas, are both, they both work for Google. So we don't say just Google it, we say just Christina it. Okay, and Frank is ready. So Frank, why either you or your friends, what are the the reasons that you hear people say they are not happy. I would be happy if, or I'll be happy when, or why I can't be happy. All right. So I'm going to Google and see what reasons people give for not being happy. So let's see what Google says. The top three that my anonymous contributor or caller said was one, all the money she lost during COVID is always on her mind and it keeps her from being happy. She has a job that she hates. That's number two, and a relationship that is she doesn't she doesn't want to be in the relationship, but she can't leave because she's married and she doesn't want to. She's also Catholic, and so it's a sin to be divorced, and so she doesn't want to. Nobody in her family's divorced. So those are her top three reasons on why she is not happy. Okay, so Frank, I don't know if you put anything on there yet. Let's see. They need insert thing that is not actually needed here. Okay. That's always my excuse. I think I find things I need that I could live without. Okay. So I'm not happy because I don't have that really nice car that I want, or house that I want, or outfit that I want, or vacation that I want, that I need, that I think I need. And then fix it, or the partner that they want, or the relationship that they want, the kids maybe that they want. They can't have trouble having kids. I don't know if that's the level you're talking about need, but we can go, with the category of you think you need it to be happy, but you could actually be happy without it. Okay, so that's Frank's great contribution, and I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to share the screen just so you can see what I am looking at, because I get to do this from the studio, which I love. Okay, 10 reasons you're still not happy. Your mind and body need to be in the right shape. Okay, this is from Entrepreneur Magazine. Have I been in that? I've been in Forbes and Inc., not this one. Maybe I should contribute to this. 10 reasons why you're still not happy. Okay, this sounds like something that being in control. You cannot control someone, something, or a situation. So there's these are almost principally instead of, okay, well, that's interesting, but it sounds like I wrote this. Okay, not feeling grateful for what you have. So we're combating that with I wonder who wrote this. Maybe I know them. Nope. Oh, this is in 2017. This is pre-COVID. Not enough control, but that's a good one. I know people who are not happy because their kids are not where not where you want them to be. Okay, and once they're adults, you cannot control what your daughter, I have two, what they are doing in their lives. So I'll be happy when my kids have a great job, or finish school, or go to school, or get into a good school. So those things that are outside of yourself that you have no control of, that definitely is one of the things that can keep people from being unhappy. Let's see if there's another one that, let's see, 5 people. Okay, let me go to Forbes. Okay. It says, this is by Travis Bradbury. And he's talking about emotional habits. I don't know why this is loading. Okay. Hanging around negative people. See, a lot of these are fixes, which is good, I was trying to get to actually the more common ones, but it's not doing. I can't control what comes up on Google. Hang around negative people. Definitely. There's a saying that my friend Greg Reed says, you are the 5 people that you hang around. I don't know if he said that or somebody else, but he quotes that a lot. So I'm going to give him credit for quoting it. Comparing your life to the lives people portray on social media. That is based on that you're not happy because you don't have what other people have, which may hook into what you were saying, Frank, about not having what you think you need, or also the secondary part of that is don't believe what you see. It just kills me. I don't understand people using filters. Although I don't use a filter myself, but I do like how I look when friends take a picture and they have a filter on it. But it isn't real, because then it makes you completely insecure if people meet you in person. Kind of like online dating, where you post a picture and anybody can take one good picture and then you don't look like that picture at all. Or even things like not push-up bras. When you stuff your bra, or you pack your pants, or you even false eyelashes, or anything artificial on yourself. The whole point of that is to get someone attracted to you, right? So if they're attracted to you, and then let's say, your whole point of them being attracted to you is to hook up with them at some point in a relationship, or maybe not. But when they find out that you're not that, isn't that worse? It never made sense to me on that. All right, let's see what Frank said here. Let's see. Okay. So more like frivolous things. Okay. Things okay. So give me an example of a frivolous thing that people think they need to be happy that they really don't need. I'll say a car. So when you have this dream car of yours, I call it the shelf life of temporary happiness. So let's go down and the cheaper it is, okay, the shorter the shelf life. So I have got to eat that, whatever it is, right? You have a craving for something, okay? And as soon as you get it, right, and you eat it, if it's something you shouldn't have had because you're trying to lose weight or whatever it is, you may feel good for a second, and then you feel worse afterwards because of all the beating up you do. Then let's say the next level up money-wise would be an outfit. The shelf life of happiness for an outfit is probably 2 days. I loved what I bought at the festival. I got 3 things, and once I wear them, that's pretty much 80% of the love is gone. And then maybe it'll last 2 or 3 days. Shoes, a gorgeous pair of shoes before I had 2 hips replaced and I could wear any height of shoes. That had a happiness shelf life maybe of a week. I remember when I was a kid, I would just love the shoes that I got, and I would actually sleep with them. Don't tell anybody. But I definitely loved a beautiful pair of shoes. It reminds me of a commercial. There's a camera pans in on a woman, and she's got her head on the pillow, and she looks like she's just been satisfied, if you get my drift. And it wide angles out, and you expect to see a good-looking guy on the pillow beside her, and there's a pair of shoes. It was a great commercial. Okay, so shoes. And then after shoes, the next biggest thing is probably, like a weekend away you spend money for. I've got to get away. That'll make me happy. I will, I need to just like unwind and chill. I know a lot of people who say that. And then when they're where they want to be, they're not even unwinding and chilling. They're thinking about all the things that they haven't finished, or they're checking their phone, they check their email, it's really counterproductive to say, I'll be happy when, because once you get that when, it's not necessarily going to give you that happiness. They might give you that, what I call fleeting happiness. So working up again, the next level, weekend away, the money you spend on that. The next level would be maybe a longer vacation, okay? And then furniture. Well, actually, furniture comes before a longer. So I'm thinking, Frank, the frivolous is along those lines. The $30,000 more for a car than actually just something you need. So instead of getting a good functional, I'm not talking about, first car fixer upper, but hey, there are people that spend over 100,000 on cars. And if you don't have the money to be putting that much out and you're going to go into debt, that's definitely, that might make you happy for the first time you drive it and people like admire you, but they don't know what this is costing you. So cars, even if you bought a car that you could afford, you think you're going to be happy, but that shelf life is maybe a month. And then it's like a car. And then house, that's a bigger one. I'll be happy when I get a house. And I don't know anybody who hasn't bought a house and then all of a sudden now you're not happy because you have to pay the mortgage, the taxes, the fix. When things break and you're renting, it's a whole nother story than when you own and something breaks. And the neighbors, you're there for good and you can't change that. So those are many of the things on a material basis that, as Frank is saying, bingo. Okay, I got it. So I gotcha. Those are the things that you think will make you happy, but really don't make you happy. So material things don't make you happy. You think they are, no matter frivolous or big, but they don't. Okay, so that's one. So now that is connected to, I'm going to call her Grace. Grace mentioned, that's not her real name, but Grace said that she's concerned. Why she's not happy is she's still trying to make up for the money she lost during COVID. And so my question to her is, what are you not able to buy because of the money lost? And she stopped and said, well, I wanted to save more. Okay. I wanted to save more. And so that savings I had to use during COVID to live. So I don't think she's alone. I think a lot of people had to dip into savings, which is why it's there. But loss, nobody likes loss. But I asked her, do you still have a roof over your head, food in your fridge, and money in your wallet, and some money in your bank account? She said yes. So all your needs are met. Are all your needs met? She goes, yes. And I said, okay, so we can either, and that's going back to one of those articles, be grateful for that, which is the one side of seeing the bonus or the positive side of that. And here comes the Happy 88 tool. You can look at anything from two sides. And this is from Abraham Hicks' Law of Attraction teachings. I am a Law of Attraction coach as well as a happiness coach. And the reason why I am is because it works on me. I only teach those things that work on me, even though the name of my show is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. All right. So they work on me, and I see the time. We're going to take a quick commercial break because this is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah and the station that leaves no listener behind. We're going to be right back. I would like you to take a listen to this, and it might be attached to an Asian Oprah giveaway today. So we'll be right back in 2 and 2. Don't go away. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room on Monday. We'll be right back. Want to find happiness? Well, it's looking for you. 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are by Dr. Marissa Pei is a self-help book on steroids with practical concepts and exercise that will help you find the love you've been looking for inside yourself. It's a cross between I'm okay and you're okay, and you're still okay. And if you do the exercises, you will never hate yourself the same way again. For an autographed copy of this #1 bestseller, go to www.drmarissa.life or just order at Target, Walmart, and Amazon today. You can choose happiness because pain in life is mandatory, but suffering is optional. All righty. And coming back in.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, and more, especially on my YouTube channel, which houses all 997 shows. It is 587 consecutive weeks on the air. Let's see if I got that number right here. Nope. 589 consecutive weeks on the air. Time flies when you're having fun. And I'm so glad that you're here joining us. Today is Monday. And we're switching off from rainy days, and Mondays always get me up. Instead of down, #UP, #unlimited possibilities. And I am getting my Happy 88 tools from this book right here, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And I am actually giving away an audiobook copy today for my Asian Oprah giveaway. And you can see here, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Hopefully I look good as like close enough to this picture, because there's nothing worse than, is that you? But I'm giving an audio book copy away of that book today for my Asian Oprah giveaway. Those who have just joined and don't know why I'm called the Asian Oprah, I did not make it up. I was actually introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah by Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. My big brother, he was one of the teachers on The Secret. He founded Agape International Spiritual Center. He just had a birthday. I just had a birthday. So that is why my honorable moniker is the Asian Oprah. And Frank, you may not know this as well. I'm talking to my sound engineer. I'm not talking to an imaginary friend here. But Her response when I was introduced to her as, this is Dr. Marissa, the one they call the Asian Oprah, she smiled, she looked at me, she looked down, she looked back at me and said, "Nice pants." And it took everything for me not to say, "Do you want them?" Because it's not every day you get complimented by Oprah, right? All right, back to the topic at hand. We're talking about blocks to happiness based on a question from Grace, longtime supporter, who, that's not her real name, and she was hoping to be on, but when the show time has changed, for those of you who have found me again, I apologize. I have not put out the change promos yet, but I know a lot of people are trying to find me, and I'm glad that you did at 9. Those are the people who haven't been on my social where I have alerted you, but glad that you're here. And her top 3 reasons of why she's not happy is 1, thinking about all the money she lost during COVID. 2, she hates her job. And 3, she hates her relationship. So those are the 3 reasons why she is unhappy. Those are her 3 specific blocks to happiness. I know that she's not alone. That I've heard this from a lot of people outside of those clients in my happiness coaching practice. So the first tool, oh wait, let me see what Frank's saying here. I find that the times I'm able to splurge on something, I still have the same problems I had before. And when I think about it, not that an occasional responsible splurge is bad, but it doesn't fix everything. Okay, so yes, that's the fleeting happiness I was talking about. Trying to find something outside of you to be happy. Let me say that again. Happiness will always be fleeting. I think I'm going to write this down because I think I just came up with this. All right. I teach it, but I don't necessarily say it succinctly all the time. Happiness, because I am a big, no, happiness is not fleeting, but happiness is fleeting when it is based on someone or something outside of myself. And I'm going to give myself credit for that. All right. And I'll put that up here. Okay. So if you, and that's related to the control that the article talked about, I think the entrepreneur article. If you can't be happy when things are not going your way, then you're going to have a tough time, because I would say at least 50% of the time, things will not go your way because you have no control over whether someone does something you want them to do or thinks the way you want them to. Does that make sense? So you will be unhappy if you hang your happiness hat on the condition that someone says or does what you want them to do. That's outside of yourself. Or if you buy something that's outside of yourself. Does that make sense? So if you are defining happiness as enjoying something that you do not have, or having someone agree with you, or having someone do something you want them to do, then you will be unhappy. That is called conditional happiness. My BS belief system and Kool-Aid that I'm trying to get you to drink is that you can have unconditional happiness. What? Yes. What does that mean? Well, we know that unconditional love means you love no matter what the condition is. Now, some people take that and actually butcher it because they think that unconditional love means I'm going to love you no matter what. And no matter how bad your behavior is, I'm still going to love you. I'm going to love you no matter, like they do the worst things, you're still going to love them. And that is actually not unconditional love. The condition determines whether you love or not, or the condition determines whether you are happy or not. So we've kind of bastardized that word condition. So my definition of unconditional happiness means that no matter what the condition is, no matter if you're able to buy it or not, no matter if tragedy happens, no matter if you have a pandemic, no matter if someone betrays you, no matter if someone insults you, no matter if the weather is hot when you want it to be cold, no matter if you lost money during the pandemic, no matter if you hate your job, no matter if you have a crappy, insignificant other, no matter what the condition is it possible to still be happy? Now, I know I drink a lot of Kool-Aid, but I'm here to tell you that some of you know my story. I was one of the 7 out of 10 kids who grew up being physically and emotionally and mentally put down. Psychological terms, as a psychologist, it's funny, I'm not crazy about, psychological terms, inner child and boundaries and all of that. But I am absolutely, that's why I'm a happiness coach. But I do know that from my own life experience that I've had quite a few things that people would say, that's a tough pill to swallow, or that's a crappy thing that happened, losing millions of dollars, okay, in a divorce because the judge said you wanted equal rights, and I picked a man who didn't like to work. So I lost a lot of money, and I can still choose to be happy because I do not depend on how much money to decide whether I'm happy or not. Now, I've been doing some financial literacy workshops and courses with my business coach, John Shin, because yes, it is true that it's easier to choose happiness when you have money. However, in this, and you have to have a certain amount of money to even feel like you want to be alive. So people who are in despair, who have no money, it's almost impossible to be happy because you don't have a roof over your head and you don't have food in your fridge and you don't have. So that level of position with no money at all, which is why I'm so into financial literacy and getting people, smart enough to be able to make decisions that protect and multiply what they do have. That's why I do that. But I am saying that for most people, where you are with respect to money, if you have enough money to live, right? And that's, 8% are in that category in the world, are in America, who have enough. You can always look at that stick of money or things or what you have. You can look at it two ways. And this goes for material things. So let's just start with material things. So Grace says, I am trying to make up the money that I lost in the pandemic. She can either look at the money as loss, right? That's the glass half empty, what I've lost, okay? Or she can look at, I have money, okay? Does that make sense? This is a huge, huge happiness tool. So I'm going to spend a little time on this, even though I don't have a lot of time left. So this applies to everything. Money, car. it's not the speedy roadster, whatever I want. You could say, I want a better car. I'm not going to be happy until I get that dream car. Or you can say, I have a car, right? And it works. Doesn't look, oh, you don't even go there. I have a car. It works. And I'm grateful that I can move and groove and drive anywhere I want because I have a car. Okay. So every topic, everything is either you don't have it or you have it. Job. She hates her job. What's the best thing about your job? I asked her. She said, my coworkers. I enjoy working with the people in the job. So, but everything else sucks. I hate my boss. I hate the work. It's meaningless. People treat me poorly. I haven't gotten the promotion, and a whole line of things that, I hear from, it's not just Grace. I hear from a lot of people. They're focused on what they don't like about their job. Now, those things are all true. I don't doubt that you feel that way. I don't doubt that people don't appreciate you at work because that's normal. No one's ever going to appreciate you as much as you think you should be appreciated. As an organizational psychologist, I'm letting you know that there's only one company that you can work for where things like conflict, ego, people taking credit for your stuff, backstabbing, climbing the ladder, stepping on people's heads and backs to get ahead. All of that, there's only one organization that doesn't happen in. And would you like to go work there? No, I don't think so. It's the cemetery where there are no people, there are no politics, and there are no bad things that happen at work. So, job, hate your job. You can look at all the things that you hate about your job that are real, or you can focus on the other side. You have a job. You do like your coworkers. Now, you're like, oh, Dr. Marissa, this is like you're trying to trick your brain. You're trying to manipulate yourself. And yeah, it kind of is. It's called choice. It's called, the most powerful tool in life we have is choice. And we can choose to focus on things that we don't have, that we don't like, that we don't want, that drive us crazy, that we abhor, that we can't stand. You have the choice to do that. And the consequence of doing that is you feel like shiitake every time. I don't know anybody that feels good when they focus on things that they don't like, don't want, don't need, right? That guilt, the resentment, the hatred, the hostility, all of those feelings that come with picking and choosing the negative side of whatever is. The other choice, and there's no in between, there's no gray area. You can't be like both at the same time. You cannot appreciate something and hate it at the same time. It's you can oscillate back and forth, but you can't do both at the same time. So my Kool-Aid is, people ask me all the time, why am I so positive? Why do I talk about gratitude and appreciation? And why do I, look for the silver lining? And why do I say the glass is always full because there's water and air? Why do I do that? One reason and one reason alone. Can you guess? I feel better. Easy as that. Easy as that. And that is like the best kept secret, or which I'm trying to not make a secret by continuing to splatter you with more hope and happiness, is what would this world be like if 88% of the people on the planet at the same time didn't focus on what they didn't like, but focused on what was good about people, places, and things right now and themselves? What would it be like? We wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have racism. We wouldn't have discrimination. We wouldn't have prejudice. We wouldn't have violence. We wouldn't have, okay, yes, that is super Pollyanna, and that is my middle name. And I will hold to that because that's my job. Happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. That's what I do. And I promise you that if you take any topic, so we looked at job, we looked at money, let's look at the relationship. You hate the person that you're with. Okay. So most of the time that comes from, you're probably not in the first 3 months of the trimester. I call it the pregnancy model of relationships. The beginning, it's always great. And then after that goes downhill. Just kidding. Hopefully not. But if you hate your relationship, most likely you are focusing on all of the things in that relationship about that person that you can blame for making you unhappy. Now, there are other things about that person, and this is what I do when I coach with people in relationships. I ask them first to hold their hands and look at the other in the eye and tell me the things that they fell in love with at the beginning. Because most of the time in the relationships that I get to coach, most of the time, they've lost the loving feeling because they focus on the things that they don't like versus on focuses on the things that they do like. Again, that's stick. The absence of it and the presence of it. What you don't like and what you do like. And if you can focus on what you do like, on what you do appreciate about that person, about your job, about your financial situation, about your health, about all of the things that you like, I promise that you will up-level your happiness. And it's a discipline. It's not a light switch. You have to work on it. You have to exercise. That's why I'm about ready to launch my 21-day fast from complaining again with Dr. Marissa, where you can try to not complain for 21 days. And if you do that, you will help yourself do what I'm telling you to do right now. As a happiness coach, my Happy 88 tool is to find the good. FTG. You use ICBW, it could be worse, to launch yourself off of what you don't like into what you do like, into what is good, into the best possible scenario. Eckhart Tolle says there's 3 words that can launch you into happiness. It's not I love you. It's called one with life. If you can take whatever condition you're in and find the good from it, you will up-level your happiness. This is Dr. Marissa. Thank you for joining me today. It is Happiness Coaching Monday. Thank you, Frank, very much for playing with me in the chat and helping me explain my Kool-Aid. I hope you drink it. Let's see what's on tomorrow. You're just going to have another great show. But do tune in on Thursday when we do my 1000th show. Thank you so much. It's all about balance. Oh, check my social, Doc Balance, Dr. Marissa everywhere else. I'm going to be posting Long Beach Jazz Festival highlights. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through, inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.